All right, everyone. Welcome back here to the Green Flag Racing League here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. So happy everyone's able to join us here tonight. Race getting ready to get underway here shortly. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Again, race will be underway here shortly. Again, if you're just joining us here on the Green Flag Racing League here from Kansas in the NASCAR Heat 5 ranks, again, we'll be underway here shortly. Again, the race will be started here shortly. Race be started here shortly. All right, getting ready to get underway here tonight. Here from Kansas. Again, we're so happy everybody's able to join us here on this wonderful Wednesday night here in the Green Flag Racing League. Just so everyone knows, also some Xfinity action on Saturdays here in racing a lot here coming at you in the Green Flag Racing League. So you have Xfinity on Saturday nights, can be streamed on Happy Stream. We may even have a couple races here for you on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. Cup races hopefully every week. Number 5 of the regular season, number 6th overall, Kenrod going to lead us to the Green Flag here tonight. He and Loderman starting on the front row for Kenrod this season. It is going to be his first pole, trying to get a league-leading 6th top 5. And they're all spread out there. 3 in a row as he's going to take that bottom line. Almost some super speedway action here early from Kansas. So again, you're seeing Mark go down there on the apron. 39 laps here in stage number 1. It's the usual suspects running up front right now. Leading in the points, there's obviously Mark. Second in the points, Loderman, who are following on board here now. Loderman won the first 3 races of the year, including his duel at Daytona. But since it's been the man in the 22 car at Bristol and then last week at Road America. Kenrod actually won in a different league at Kansas this past weekend. He's looking pretty good out front right now as he's led the first 2 laps here from Kansas. Dunlap, though, in that 77, usually driving an 18 car, trying to make things work on that low line. And 2 top 5s for him this season. Guys are starting to mix it up top now. The 12 car of Copenhagen as well as the 20 of C-Fan starting to all fall in line. And just as we've come to expect here, everything kind of falling off there if you're not running that top line. Copenhagen, a guy that we focused on, feels like that first win for him is coming right around the corner. And if he continues to flex the muscle that he has here early, I would expect much of the same. A little bump there from Loderman, kind of moving him out of the top line. Again, the draft here is a major factor. And if you get out front, listen, it's going to play follow the leader here unless you're going to pull some kind of move there on that top line. I think that obviously, and Ken Rod said it among a lot of others, strategy is going to play in a very big role. Copenhagen got to that right quarter panel there. The 5 car forced him to go way down low. As the 12 car gets shifted out, the 20 of C-Fan going to move up there in the second place. This is a guy that told us, wouldn't expect to see the 20 car in victory lane. Well, he's made it up to P2 here as we come to complete lap number 5 of the night. In the 9 car of Chief TP getting up there as well. Kansas is a place, if you can really get it tuned up and get well in the draft. Again, you might not run too well in a zone, but if you're going to run well in a draft, this is a place where winners can be made, and it might take a move that might just make the entire field upset. As you've seen these guys beating and banging Hurley here in stage number 1. Pit strategy obviously going to come into play here in the 39-lap stage. Pitting twice. Obviously, your fuel life is not going to allow you to pit anything less than that. As we just completed lap number 6. Garv getting a little restless back there in that 2 car. Going to go way down low. Obviously, that has not been the movement here tonight. Tried to side draft Happy, but he's just going to fall back in line. Speaking of which, Happy running in the 7th position. Ended up having 12 guys show up here this evening. As everybody's starting to flare out a little bit. Loderman's falling back. Dunlap fell back out of the pack. Chief TP mixing it up with Loderman. Trying to get that low line going here. The drivers do have their own race chat. I expect all those guys are probably talking something about how trying to establish the low line right here. Chief TP, he's going to look inside, sneaks back high. Happy got into the back of Loderman there, the 48 car. Let's follow along with him on his end car here for a little bit. Again, he's continuing to try to run on this low line. Happy makes up another spot on him, moving himself into the 6th position. Loderman running 7th here. And again, this is what you're dealing with. If you want to run a little bit higher on that white line, you've seen Loderman, again, kind of lost a little bit. Getting in that draft, going to make up a big run as he shoots it down into 3 and 4. Had to lift there, obviously. Kansas is a place where you can back up the corner, but she can back you up, too, right on into the fence. And this is the sketchy part here. You see Loderman probably running about 80% throttle. Got a big run on Happy. Again, going to be interesting to see here. Lap times in traffic is going to be about at a 31-second flat right now. So not a whole lot of tire fall off here early as we're on lap 10 of 39 in stage number 1. And very interesting to see Loderman, what kind of moves he's going to make before this first pit stop. Got to think the first pit cycle is going to be coming up here very, very soon for these guys with 2 of them here in the first stage. Happy making a big-time move. As you see Mark, that 6 car is going to drift right back as the 22 running in the P4 position right now. Happy trying to establish that middle line. You don't see too many guys run right there in the middle of the white. As he's going to try to merge back up, no place for him to go. He and Loderman have switched spots, and Happy is going to put it in reverse after driving to the top 5. He's not going to have anywhere to merge back in line, and nobody is going to give the man who is the commissioner of the league and the season 1 champion in there. He's got space there in front of Garv, didn't want to take it, and Happy going to fall all the way back, almost outside of the top 10. That would not be good for some stage points there. And as you look back all the way back here, Biker and Jay White competing for 11th and 12th positions. Kenrod, though, still looking strong out front as we're 3 wide. C-Fan able to merge back up. Chief TP, though, got way down there on the apron. As Mark gets a big run from his Penske teammate there in Copenhagen. He's going to try to send it for our first slide job of the night as the 22 to the point. A little blocking action going on there. Doesn't quite cut off that quarter panel, but Mark just about did so. As that was an amazing move. Couldn't have done it without the help of the 12. And now the 12 going to try to merge back up in there. Made it 3 wide between he, the 9, and the 48. C-Fan down on the apron. Having some troubles there. There's some really good racing being produced right now. The 22 car in back-to-back wins at Bristol and Road America. Looking to make it 3 straight, just as Loderman did to start the year. Loderman won his duel to begin the year, then obviously won the Daytona 500, which is one of the many trophies awarded in this league. There's a trophy awarded for the Daytona 500, the Coca-Cola 600, which will be ran next week, the Southern 500, race 15 of the year, and then after 16 races, the regular season champ will get a trophy. The All-Star race, race number 17, Bristol Dirt this season. There's a trophy given to that. Trophy also given for the Alabama 500 at Talladega, which is a playoff race. Will be race number 5 in the playoffs, and then obviously there will be a trophy given to the champion. So again, 7 different trophies given here in Season 2 of the Green Flag Racing League. In the lone trophy, the first, which I should say, of 7, given to Loderman after he won the Daytona 500. He won his duel, won the 500, then he won at Phoenix. 3 straight wins for him. But then again, Bristol Road America belongs to this man here in the 22 car. And Kansas so far looking like it's going to belong to him. He's led 4 laps. The first 12 all dominated there by Kenrod, but Mark starting to pull away here as we near the first batch of green flag pit stops. We'll rejoin you when guys start to cycle pit road here momentarily here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. Well, that didn't take long. Just about 1 lap, and then the 2 Penske teammates decided there in the 22 and the 12. Fuel lights have started to come on. I would highly suspect here that we're going to see a lot more pit stops starting to happen. Whoa, back out here on the track, got the guy in trouble, Garv, who has already told us there's going to be some trouble getting on and off pit road. Getting off pit road for him seemed to be the trouble. Some damage there to the front of Biker. We're going to go back here, though, to Mark. And Copenhagen as they get off pit road. See C-Fan, Dunlap, Happy now all coming down pit road. So again, some interesting strategies here. Guys pitting about 20 to 21 laps to go in the stage. So again, tires and fuel that's going to last you about a 16 to 18 lap window. So obviously the 2 mandatory stops here in stage number 1. So these 4 guys are going to come off. Now you're seeing the 5 of Kenrod, who has led the majority of this first green flag run. Loderman and Cobra all going to come down pit road. Interesting to see how everybody shakes out after this run. Obviously the 5 car, which has been the dominant car, pitting 2, maybe 3 laps later than some guys, only 1 lap later than that quad bunch we just seen there with Happy leading the pack. 5 car, interesting that Loderman beats him off pit road. There come the 22 and the 12. It will be Mark who is going to take the lead. See how good Kenrod's car is outside of running in the draft. However, as he merges back up, not going to merge in front of the 77 of Dunlap. We'll see if anybody else will give him a chance. C-Fan and Garv have hooked up, and then Happy there running in the 8th position. So again, this will be a bunch to watch. Led by Loderman. You can see how far Mark and his running partner there in Copenhagen have made it out in front of everybody. Again, 18 laps to go here in stage number 1. We just passed the halfway point. And the 22 and the 12, which if you remember or if you're just joining us, they were able to send the 22 out in front of the 5 earlier in the race. Mark coming around to lead his 6th lap of the night. Be interesting to see that 12 car. He's awfully hungry. How much will he do the pushing tonight, and when will he try that slide job to give him his first win of the year? Again, the 12 car there in Copenhagen has been very, very strong. He's won 2 stages this year. He's got 3 top 5s. He's 3rd in the points, both in overall points and in the rookie points. And he said he is very happy with how his pace has been. Feels like that win is just right around the corner for the man in the 12 car there in Copenhagen. Again, a rookie here in Season 2 of the Green Flag Racing League. We got a lot of rookies here in this Green Flag Racing League this season. Let's talk about them. Again, when you look at the rookie point standing, Mark, Loderman, Kenrod, Copenhagen, Garv, Fairlane, Chief TP, the top 7 all participating here in this event here tonight. So again, 7 rookies here in this event here tonight. You got 10 overall between Season 2 of the Cup Series and then in the inaugural season here of the Xfinity Series, which runs on Saturday evenings at 8:30. Hopefully we'll have the occasional Xfinity broadcast here on the Check YouTube channel as well. As a 19, looks like he might be having some engine issues, and he will be out of the race. So it looks like, again, is going to be done for the night. 5-car Kenrod was our dominant car, but he and Chief TP have lost the lead pack. Loderman leading that 2nd pack. 3rd, Dunlap behind him. And then look at here. Short pitting, if you will, the 22 and the 12. Be interesting to see, based off what we can tell from here, how short their stops. Yeah, it looks like gas and go to us. No right side tires, and these guys are going to get off real quick. Again, they have to announce in the group when they are pitting and then when they are coming back on to the track. So the 22 and the 12 are going to make up a lot of ground here as they'll get past on the backstretch. So now leading the race will be the 48 here of Loderman. As Jay White, Chief TP, decided to come down. Kenrod currently running by himself. But now the 48 car Loderman leading his first laps of the evening. So again, you got the 48, the 20, and the 2 all running in the top 3. In the 48 and the 20, man, we've seen a lot of these guys running up front. I tell you what, especially in Season 1, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, these are 2 guys. It didn't matter if you went to a road course, a super speedway, a speedway, a short track. I think you could have went and you could have raised some soapboxes around there in your bathtub. The 48 and the 20, if they were carved on the side and it was Loderman above the door and it was C-Fan above the door, you were going to see these 2 guys run up front. These 2, along with Happy, who's running back there in 4th in that number 6 Mustang, they were the only 3 guys there in Season 1 to have 3+ wins. C-Fan leading the whole way, but Loderman, he didn't come around until the final 10 races. Guy won 3 out of the last 4, and obviously won the first 3 this year. He's trying to make a statement here tonight. One of the more humble guys you'll ever meet, 49-year-old from West Virginia, spoke to us this week. He said, I want to come out a little bit better in the points than I was last week. Well, It's his first race that he started this year, after obviously Daytona, that he's been anywhere but first in the point standings. Comes out of Road America second in the point standings because of Mark. As you look at the 22 and the 12, they're at the back of this lead pack. They've already pitted twice. Everybody else in front of them has not pitted yet. So again, looking good for the 22 and the 12, but nonetheless, good for morale to let the 48 get out. He's going to lead some laps here, and looks like they're going to stretch the fuel as much as possible. Be interesting to see then how does the strategy play out as we start stage 2. Do these guys pit in between stages? You only got 12, now 11, with Biker having his engine issue. Only 11 guys in the race. Do you put yourself farther back in the pack when you know that you have a car like Loderman does and C-Fan, who's been able to drive to the front this evening? We're going to ride along here on the roof cam, looking above and back as, again, we'll take one more short break. Lap 32 here in the Green Flag Racing League. Race number 5 of the regular season here from Kansas on the Checker Past and Present YouTube channel. Just completed lap 33, so 6 more to go here in stage number 1. Not a whole lot changing there as we crunk it up for the last lap and a half. Loderman still out front. C-Fan second, Garvin third. Happy running in the 4th place position. Then behind him, Fairlane, and then Mark. Again, Mark trying to short pit the stage there, which he and the 12 car were able to do so. And again, if we're not mistaken, the 5 cars in front of them have still yet to pit here for their second time in stage number 1. So really looks like now, with the 12 and the 22 playing out their strategy the way that they did, they look to be in the catbird seat to be able to finish first and second perhaps here in stage number 1. So Mark, obviously the big news here, looking to make it 3 straight. Everybody's starting to kind of play in line as now we have 4 to go in stage number 1. Oh, big time shakeout right there as a 22. Got a bit of a aggressive shove going into 1, and now everybody's starting to fan back out. Speaking of fans, looking at C-Fan. Everybody going to go down to the apron. Looks like these guys are about to pit. So we're going to follow the 48, the 20, and the 2, as it looks like the 27 going to come in as well. The 2 car of Garv has spoken about how hard it is to get on pit road here. Happy really on the brakes as all 5 of these guys come back down pit road. And looking at the pit strategy here, what are you going to do? Are you going to try to make up a few stage points here? Or are you going to set yourself up to where you don't have to pit during the stage break here in just a couple laps? 3 to be exact. Well, Happy, he's on and off. 20 on and off. 48 on and off. Well, I think that answers our question about the strategy for that matter. These 3 guys on and off pit road. As we'll go back down pit lane here. The 27, the 2, took them a little bit longer, but could they have been speeding? I think that's the question of the hour now. As we're going to go back out here, the 22 and the 12. Obviously, they're looking in really, really good position now. After they took just gas only. Able to follow the draft, being 1 lap down there that entire time. There's now 2 to go. 2 to go here in stage number 1. 22 and the 12. Mark trying to get himself another win here tonight. Looking for stage win number 5, excluding the 3rd stages, obviously, this season. Looking for his 5th stage win. For that 12 car of Copenhagen, he's looking to maybe steal a stage here and get stage win number 3. It's the white flag here in stage number 1. Again, these two, it's going to be the battle here. The 12 kind of lost the draft, now back down the backstretch. Big time run from Copenhagen there in the P2 position. He's going to look inside for the slide job. Protecting the top there is Mark. They're going to be side by side out of 4. One of the more exciting stage finishes of the year, but the 22 pulls back ahead, and Mark will win stage 1 here at Kansas. Stage win number 5 for the points leader here in GFR. The 12 will come home second. Looking elsewhere, third Loderman, fourth C-Fan, fifth Happy. Ken Ride will finish 6th there in stage number 1. Dunlap able to come across, get him some stage points as well in 7th. Chief TP 8th, Garvin 9th, and Fairlane Cobra in 10th. That is how everything's going to shake out for you there, looking stage-wise. Shall we see everybody pit? It would look that way. All the guys that obviously tried to short pit there only took fuel, maybe took right sirens, but for the most part, just took fuel there. And shaking out here on the front row, it's going to be that 12-car Copenhagen who comes out first. Obviously finishing second there in stage number 1. As we're underway now here in stage 2. Mandatory 2 pit stop stage. 2 less laps, though, taken off. Just 37 laps. Obviously, no, you can't pit with anything less than 2 to go. So it'll be interesting to see, again, how strategy plays out here early. A lot of beating and banging going on back out there through the pack. You saw the 5-car almost lose it going in there into turn number 3. 12-car Copenhagen, he's going to lead his first lap tonight. Under green flag, I should say, at least. As a 48-car Loderman, big-time slide job. Can he complete it going in to 2 just by the skin of his teeth? Let's go back here. The 9 and the 5 starting to get a little chippy. Back to the front, though. 48-car Loderman led a lot of those laps there during that last big green flag run before he decided to pit. 12-car wants to pull back out. Maybe give Loderman a bit of... Instead, if he doesn't complete the slide job, there's nowhere else for him to go, and there's going to be nowhere for him to go. The 22 of Mark fills the gap. C-Fan right on his tail. Looks like the 20-car, no. He's got a side draft off of him to lead all the way back. Of what we've seen, the 40. The 20 in C-Fan 4th. Running there in in third. The 4th position, the 12th car there, Copenhagen. Running in the P5 position is going to be Happy. And Happy got to be relatively happy, as he was able to pick up some stage points there. 4 to be exact. 5 to be exact. Here in stage number 1, finishing in the 5th position. C-Fan looked inside. Quickly had to block up top there as the 12 couldn't get any closer than that. Speaking of which, let's go to the front camera here of Copenhagen, how close he is to the back bumper there in that DeWalt Camry of C-Fan. I mean, this is like racing at Talladega here, ladies and gentlemen. Getting ready to complete lap number 5 here of the stage. Again, you're not seeing a whole lot of racy moves, if you will, here early on in stage. Obviously, guys are probably running 80-90% throttle. The big-time shove going to help out C-Fan. You see him almost get up there in the fence. If you race these next-gen cars at Kansas, you know something so easy to do. You got a guy behind you giving you a big shove like we almost seen there from the 12 car. It's so easy to overdrive the entry, get into the fence, and then you're just in a world of trouble until you have a yellow flag. 12 car being very aggressive on that right rear quarter panel of C-Fan. Lifted big time early on entry. Now we're riding along with C-Fan here. C-Fan kind of laying off the 22 of Mark. Mark going to get in the fence big time. That's going to check up everybody behind him. C-Fan had no choice but to look to the inside. Will you let Mark get back in line? Maybe C-Fan's going to be the guy having to look back in line here. Yeah, Mark getting in the fence did more damage to the 20 car than it did the 22. C-Fan's going to try to move up in front of Garv, but he's not going to be able to. The middle of 3 wide here for the 20 car. Finally going to find somewhere for him to fit in front of the 5 of Kenrod. And just like that, somebody else's mistake becomes your own. As C-Fan goes from challenging to the lead, almost falls out of the top 5, does actually fall out of the top 5 all the way back. Or no, still in the top 5, excuse me, there in the 4th position. So back to the front here. 48 car of Loderman. 12 of Copenhagen, who keeps speaking about that win coming back on the horizon. He fell out of the top 5, almost fell out of the top 10 early here in stage number 2 after finishing second there in stage 1. An amazing finish between he and Mark coming to the green and white checkered flag. He's driven back, fell back to 7th after starting this stage first. Now is driven back up to 3rd. Everybody just kind of trying to find a place, though the 22, he's been really good when he's been pushed by the 12 tonight, but right now he's pushing that 48 way out front. He's getting ready to come and complete lap number 10 here of the stage. Green flag stops. Probably going to start between lap 14 to 16. We've seen the guys in the 22 and the 12. They were some of the first to come and pit there in stage 1, and obviously they won the first stage by quite the large margin after only taking gas there on their second stop. You can do that in a place like Kansas, who when you look at this pavement, it's aged enough, but not too much, where tires are not going to really make you pay. Everybody continuing to stay in line. We're going to ride along with the leader here from this roof cam for the time being, as we're going to crank it up here early in stage number 2. 11 laps down, 26 to go here in the second stage from Kansas. Loderman still out front. Mark still running second. Again, the usual guys here you've seen in the Green Flag Racing League. Again, but maybe some guys you don't know. As let's move back throughout the pack. Chief TP, you've heard us call his name here quite a lot tonight. During qualifying, we got to speak on this guy. 9th in points, 7th in rookie points. He's a guy, he's trying to make something happen, right? He's a rookie here in Season 2 of GFR. Just a single top 5 for him this season. He's running at the very back here of this lead pack behind Happy. Happy being in the 8th position. Again, Garv is Chief TP, a guy, a newcomer that is starting to show more and more speed every single week. Somebody you might want to be on the lookout for. Dunlap running the 77 here tonight. Spoke about the strength of this field and just how hard it is. Now, some weeks you'd feel like a top 5 might feel like a win. Getting Happy running an 8th position, still trying to find more pace under the hood of that Mustang. Fairlane Cobra also in a Mustang running in the 7th position. Garv, a guy who really spoke to the fact of it is difficult to get on and off pit road here. And that's really where he struggled at in Kansas. Felt like his pace was good. He's showing that right now, running in the 4th position. So continue to watch out as Penske running in order 2, 3, and 4 right now. How about that? Biker running in that Bass Pro number 19 Toyota Camry. He blew a motor there about halfway through stage number 1. Jay White, unfortunately for him and his Camaro, lost the draft. So again, trying to find something positive for that 16 car. Kenrod, who started on the pole here tonight, got shifted back after the first pit strategy. but has found himself back in the mix here in stage number 2, running right behind C-Fan. There in the 6th position, right outside the top 5, and his HendrickCars.com Chevrolet Camaro, usually running that 24 car, another Hendrick Motorsports car, but due to Beasy not being able to be in the event tonight, Ken Rod decided to take over and pilot the 5 car tonight. Chevrolet, it's the 48 Ally Chevrolet Camaro of Loderman. And he and Mark, number 1 and number 2 in points, reverse that on the track right now. And that's what we are looking at, that is your run through the field here on the Checkered Past the Present YouTube channel. And just as we expected, here is on lap number 18. This is about halfway done. Guys are going to start coming to pit road. C-Fan down there in the grass. Garv having to jerk it left really, really quickly. Everybody coming to pit road here, except for the 27 of Fairlane Cobra. So interesting to see how this strategy ends up playing out. And who's going to get off first? Obviously going to play off better for the guys that are really, really good in the 4-tire stop for the 6 car of Happy, who's allowing us to ride on board with him. Happy trying to get that sub 15.5-second stop. 22 first out of his pit box, and everybody follows shortly thereafter. A 16-second stop. As, almost a spin there, as everybody trying to get it straightened out. The 22 way out in front as they get off pit road. The 48 merges in behind him. They're in Loderman, and then the 12 of Copenhagen, Kenrod, and the 5-car C-Fan, and the 20 is how they're all going to shake out. Mark just so smooth getting on and off pit road, where everybody else really has issues. Now that pack of, 5 cars behind him, they're all going to try to get back together and try to catch the 22 car here. And again, still one more mandatory stop. With that mandatory stop, should we just see guys go in and put in that half a tank of gas that we saw Mark and Copenhagen do again, that won them the first stage. And just as expected, here comes the 48 with the 12 and the 5, with the 20 and the 2 behind him, all attached to their hips. It's going to be a 6-car breakaway as Garv makes up the back of that. And then a 3-car breakaway behind them, led by Chief TP, Dunlap, and Happy. Going to be the guys there. Fairlane Cobra did end up coming to pit road. Looks like he might have taken some damage there as well on his way to pit road, and perhaps that's why he's a little bit off the pace right now, running 11th. And in fact, he's about 22 seconds behind the leader. Again, Garv holding up that lead pack, running in the 6th position behind him. We mentioned Biker. He's our only guy to be out of the race thus far. Jay White still trying to find some pace in that action. Number 16 Chevrolet Camaro. Back up to the front, though. Kenrod running in the 4th position. The 22 and the 12 have mimicked each other in everything they've done tonight. The 48 started to join in that. Whether it's pit strategy, lying on the track, and now how can Kenrod capitalize? I mean, we're talking about almost seemed like guaranteed really good stage points for him, and then finishes 6th in stage number 1. Guy that is trying to capitalize on a place where he won at in a different league on Saturday evening here at Kansas. Feels like he's got a really, really good setup to compete, but when you're in a league like that 22, 48, and the 12 in front of him, some really good race car drivers, as the 12 almost blocks him into the fence. Everything getting a little shifty there into turn number 1. 14 laps to go right now. Some of our best laps that we've seen of the night have been the low 30 range, in the 30.1, 30.2 range. Obviously, that's going to be with tires and not so much fuel in there. Usually in these packs here, we're seeing anything from a 30.4 to a 30.6. It's going to be a really, really good time. Obviously, like the 22 out front right now, he's going to be using up a little bit more gas, maybe not running the fastest of laps. And somebody like Loderman there in second, he's going to be running one of your faster laps probably on the track right now. The 22 in front of him and the 12 giving him a big shove from the back. So again, a 6-car breakaway up front here, continuing to try to sort things out. Then the 3 cars behind him. And then the other 2 competitors there of Fairlane Cobra and Jay White running individually elsewhere on the track. Biker has been our lone competitor to DNF. So again, we'll ride along here, shall we, and see what the back of the 22 Mustang looks like here as we'll crank it up one more time, getting ready for the home stretch here in stage number 2. Here, the Green Flag Racing League from Kansas on the Checker Past and Present YouTube channel. Ten laps to go. 10 laps to go here. Number 2, and the same man that won stage 1 out front there. Pennzoil Mustang. Mark, again, our points leader right now, trying to continue to add to his lead. Is in second in the race, in second in the points, is going to be Loderman here in second. So we continue to ride along with him. Might as well look at the points here while we're talking about him. Mark in first, 256 points. Just a 4-point drop down to second to Loderman. Excuse me. So again, a win for Loderman tonight could do more than just boost him around. I mean, obviously could put him in the points lead. He's trying to continue to get that run and get around the 22 car. And then it's a 20-point drop down to Copenhagen in third. Ken Rod with 208 points, who is going to be a 24-point drop down from Copenhagen, and then a very, very steep drop of 29 points down to Happy in fifth. So again, those top 2 guys here, Mark and Loderman. Mark with 5 top 5s, which is tied with Ken Rod for the most in the series this season. Loderman with only 4 top 5s. Looks like he might have another one tonight. And looks like he's going to have a chance to take the lead here, as the 22 got shuffled out of that top line. And the 48 car going to stretch it out. 22 able to fit in where he gets in there in the P2 position. But Loderman's so good at picking his spots, showing a lot of patience here at a track like this. As that 6 car Happy looks like he's going to make a trip down pit road here. Perhaps trying to flip some fortunes, if you will. Again, seeing a guy like Happy short pit, it's obviously a very interesting deal. 6 laps to go in the stage. We'll continue to monitor everybody else as we're going to go back to the front here. 48 of Loderman. Happy's strategy is going to be the same as many guys we saw there in stage 1. Just a half a tank and go. Again, the 48, the 22, the 12, the 5, and the 20. That's going to be your top 5 right now. Happy does go a lap down. But again, just took half a can of fuel. So where were the other guys come down the pit? The 22 and the 12 take that inside line, which here in the green flag come down, and they do. Copenhagen trying to get a jump on him. Whoa, the 12 and the 22 make contact getting on the pit road. As the third Penske car there of Garv and the 2 also going to come down as well. So we'll stay along with these guys. We'll tag along now with the top 3, at least on track here. C-Fan looks like he might come down this time. He will. Now with Happy short pitting like he did, let's go right along with him here. Could he be the guy to make up some time here on the rest of the pack? And he's going to come back around. 48 car just went on pit road. So we'll continue to watch as now Loderman comes down pit road. Obviously has led the majority here of stage number 2. 3 laps to go here in the stage, by the way. Gas and go for all these guys as well. So as the 48 comes off of pit road, here's the 12 and the 22 car. And it looks like we're going to have a merging battle here. As the 12 gets a big run off of 2, going to be able to clear the 20. 48 of Loderman not going to have enough to get back up in front of him. Looks like Loderman is taking quite a bit of damage here as well. As now the 22 goes down to block Loderman. Yes, you do see a little bit of damage there to the front of that 48 car. There it's the 12 of Copenhagen who now leads it here. 2 laps to go in the stage. Finished second there in stage number 1 after quite the battle with the 22. I don't think he's going to win it that easily as well, as the 22 of Mark sits there in second, the 2 car of Garv there in third. As this 1 to go here in stage 2. Copenhagen keeps talking about that race winning speeds there. 48 car of Loderman's going to look for a slide job here. Don't know if it's quite there. He's going to come out side by side with the 2. 22 going to apply pressure. He looks to the inside as they go into 3. Mark trying to be the one to get the slide job done here at the end of stage 2. Not going to be able to complete it, but he's going to have some momentum. A little side trap coming to the line. Mark wins stage number 2 in what was a photo finish. Wow. You talk about an instant classic there at the end of stage number 2. We sure got it there, ladies and gentlemen. The 22 and the 12 again finish in the top 10 in the stage. They're finishing the top 2, as it'll be Mark who won his second straight stage of the night, 6th of the year. Copenhagen will finish second. Garv in third. Seafan in 4th. Loderman in 5th. Kenrod 6th. Dunlap 7th. Happy 8th. Chief TP in 9th. And Fairlane Cobra, who is a lap down, finishes in 10th. Jay White also a lap down as well. Fairlane will be able to make up his lap. So now it's time to start stage number 3. 3 pit stops now for these guys here in the 3rd and final stage of the night. Again, Mark able to start first here on this restart to begin stage number 3. As he will lead Garv down the back stretch. Loderman trying to fit in line. The 12 car Copenhagen are going to keep that from happening. And Mark's so interesting there. I mean, didn't lead a whole lot of laps there. Actually got knocked out of the lead by Loderman before that last green flag stop there in stage 2. We thought the 12 car of Copenhagen, who's been so strong tonight, a guy that you could really look at as being someone to compete here. As, again, 52 laps here in stage 3. It'll be 50 to go at the line this time. But, again, you got to look at your class thus far tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be the 22, the 48, and the 12. I mean, those are the guys that you're looking at. But maybe Garv there in that 2-car running in the second-place position is somebody waving his hand up and down, said, hey, Brett, don't forget about us. Don't forget about me here, second-place position. Garv, a rookie, a guy who hasn't made a whole lot of noise before tonight this year, but maybe that luck is starting to turn around. So again, the 22, the 2, and the 12. Team Penske been very strong here, showing off that Mustang power here this evening. Then the 48 car of Loderman 4, C-Fan in the 20 car rounding out the top 5. Yeah, Garva, back to him there. 10th in points, 5th in rookie points. Just a singular top 5 this season. And he's starting to challenge tonight and really make it known that, hey, I'm here. I am here. Garv there in stage 1 finished ninth, only picking up 2 stage points and then able to flip that for a 3rd place finish in stage number 2. So for Garv tonight, he is going to accumulate 10 stage points. Mark winning both stages, getting 20 points there. Copenhagen second in both stages, picking up 18 points. Loderman finished 3rd in stage 1 and then 5th in stage 2. So he'll pick up 13 stage points. C-Fan 4th in both stages, 14 stage points for him. Kenrod, he finished 6th in both stages. So he will be able to pick up some stage points as well. So again, be interesting to see. Again, we all know that stage points are going to be very, very important for all these guys here tonight. Especially when you've seen the 48 and the 22 be as potent as they have been this season. The 22 obviously not slacking off anytime soon, continuing to lead this pack up front. But how will the pit stops fare for these guys? Again, 16, 18 laps is about what we've seen on a full fuel window tonight. Mike can stretch it to 19 laps. That's probably overdoing it a little bit. 46 to go here at the line. We know there's a 3 mandatory stop. So let's just say here, you try to stretch it and you try to go 19 and 19. Well, yeah, that's your 38 laps. Then you got to make one more stop at some point. You could just probably stretch it to the end there. So maybe that's just the fuel and go for that potential final 3rd stop. But maybe you do something where you come in, you pit, you run 2 laps, and then you come back in and pit again. Give yourself that tire advantage. We haven't seen that tire advantage be able to play off here tonight because guys have come in those first 2 stages. You come in, you put 4 Goodyears on it, you get 2 fresh cans of Sunoco fuel, you go back out. When you come in, you get half the can, and then that's all she wrote there is what we've seen in the first 2 stages. That's been pretty cut and dry strategy. But now with these 2 pit stops, you know you're going to have to take 4 Goodyear tires and a full 2 cans of Sunoco fuel. But then that 3rd pit stop could be where the race is won and lost. And just as we keep coming back to the comments that the guys have said all week, getting on and off pit road is oh so hard here because you're running that top line all night long. And then when it's time to pit, you're going to run down there in that bottom groove. You're going to get down there in that dirty stuff. It's not rubbered up. And then you're going to try to get on the brakes, get on the pit road. And that's where chaos has started to unfold. I think it's time we got to ride along with that 2 car there of Garv. I mean, look at this. Guy is really starting to make stuff happen right now. He's getting up to the bumper of Mark there in the 22 car and really starting to let him know, hey, I'm back here right now. I'm ready to go. As we'll move elsewhere, again, Biker, he has been the lone guy to DNF here tonight. Jay White still trying to find that pace. Ken Rod running deeper into the pack here as he's back there in the 6th position. Loderman, this is a really good view right here. The Hendrick Chevrolet running in 4th behind those 3 Team Penske Fords. The Ford is seemingly dominated with Mark the past couple of weeks. I know they don't run the teammate system here in GFR, but you could fool me because it looks like Team Penske's surely sharing some information by looking at the top 3 right now. Again, 41 laps to go. 41 laps to go here in the race at the line this time. We've been completed about 11 laps here in stage number 3. So with those 11 laps down, those 41 to go. Again, you'd have to think strategy is going to start to call. Maybe you split it up into a sense. You're 15, and then you're 15. And then you'll be ready to go there to the end, pit every 15 laps here. Maybe you try to short pit some guys. I mean, when you look elsewhere, like we said, throughout the rest of the pack, if you're back there like Chief TP running at the back of this pack in the 9th place position, I mean, just what do you do? There's so many different avenues you could go here with the strategy. It's something that always, I think, is one of the more interesting things out of any league race here, and it's obviously a big one here in GFR. The guys have really shown, knock on wood here. I know Happy's going to hate me for saying this if something starts to go a little haywire, but guys have been able to fall in line here tonight. We've seen some aggressive racing, but we've seen some very, very clean racing for the most part as well. We've seen a little bumping and banging, but again, the guys have been very, very respectful tonight. A lot of the murmurs in the garage area pre-race were that Xfinity race this past weekend at Darlington was not reflective of GFR. I had a few too many cautions and a couple of guys driving in over their heads. Happy got the guys together and said, hey, we cannot be this reflective as a league. And when you got a guy who created this league, brings you into this league, and he gets the guys together and tells them that, and then you have the race that we've seen now 96 laps have produced here tonight, which has been amazing racing, as Copenhagen is going to look to make a move on guard for second place. But when you've seen the amazing racing etiquette of these guys here tonight, but you also have not seen a caution other than the one that we've seen for the stage break, I think that's got to speak to something. As the 2 and the 48 car, speaking of which, aggressive driving, they're starting to mix it up back there, competing for that third place position. Let's take a look in on that. As we'll look here at the 2-car of Garv. Kind of got shifted out there by the 12 of Copenhagen, then tried to move back in line. The 48 had to jerk it way down low there, if you've seen that deeper in the pack, trying to get around the 2-car. And then, well, Garv made a pretty aggressive move there on the front stretch to move back in front of the 48. And now that 3-car Penske breakaway is yet again as everybody's moved back into where they fit in, the 48 in the 4th, and then the C-Fan there in the 20-car. Happy got a nose under the 5 of Kenrod there, able to make a pass for 7. Again, guys starting to see some things here and starting to get pretty aggressive. As again, 34 laps to go at the line. That means this will be the lap 100. Lap 100 of the race. Looks like some guys are going to come down pit road here at the century mark. Yep, it's going to be all 3 of the Penske guys, the 2, the 12, and the 22, all sticking together here. We've seen them run the same pit strategy at the end of stage 2. That's how they all finished in the top 3 there as well. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it is what it looks like right now for these guys. So again, these are not where the drama is going to unfold, we would surmise. You're going to see 4 tires, 2 cans of gas. Jay White in the 16, actually the first car to pit here under green flag stop. You just seen him get off the pit road. Happy and the rest of the guys still back out there on the track. This pack led by the 48 of C-Fan. Going to have about 2 to 3 laps of fuel here left, so I would have to assume these guys are going to come in and pit on this lap as well. That would be indicated by them going down to the low line there. So this group of 6 cars all going to come in and pit right here. So again, this is going to play right into the hands of those 3 Penske cars. 22-12 in the 2. They all come off of pit road the same way they entered it. And again, not a whole lot of adjustments right now. Not a whole lot of things to really mess up on other than getting on and off pit road. And I know what you're thinking, Brett, that's a lot easier said than done. But, I mean, really when you look at it, it's not a whole lot that you can mess up right now as these guys still sitting on pit road. Loderman, Kenrod, and C-Fan been sitting there for quite some time now. Finally get done with their stops. Everybody's going to come on. You see they're off in your distance and now going to be entering into turn 1. Now in turn 2. Loderman trying to get a big run coming off of pit road. But now these 6 cars here that we just seen pit together, they're going to have to try to link up. Loderman, maybe he leaves those guys in the dust if he can connect here with these top 3 in the draft. Looks like he's just going to be in no man's land. Nobody behind him. And, well, this 3-car breakaway, this is not good for those 6 cars that just pitted. 22-12 and the 2, they are attached at the hip, and then everybody else behind them, as this will give you a good look at it. Loderman running by himself. C-Fan running by himself in 5th right now. And again, just not good. Not getting the draft from everybody. The 20 car is going to have to back up to the 9 here. As the 9, who got off sequence from this group, able to get back in sequence with this group. He's now in the 6th position. Got to move in front of Happy there, who's running in the 7th position. 48 car looks like he's doing okay by himself. Hasn't really gained or lost any ground on that 3-car breakaway in front of him. Definitely has gained a little bit on C-Fan, who's also running by himself. Now the 9 going to get a big shove. He's going to be able to catch the draft there, that 20 DeWalt car. Back to the front we go. Garv's a guy we've talked about a lot here tonight. He's going to be the one rookie who we really want to look at here, continuing to come into his own. Again, we know Copenhagen and Mark are rookies, but they don't drive like it. Again, and Garv has not been a guy to put himself in the conversation of, hey, I can win races, and he has done just that here this evening. And Loderman still running by himself. Like he was making up some ground on that top 3, and any ground that we thought he had made up has quickly withered away. As we're currently on lap 107, 28 to go. That second pit stop, probably 5 to 7 laps away, as the 22 car, that Shell Pennzoil Ford, absolutely dominated here tonight. He's won the first 2 stages. He's led the most laps. We're going to continue to be dialed in on him, as well as his 2 Penske teammates here, as we're going to take a short break here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. Race number 5 of the regular season, number 6 overall, here in the Green Flag Racing League, Season 2, again on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. And the 22 of Mark continues to lead out front. This 3-car Penske breakaway, Copenhagen, and then Garv behind him. I mean, nothing you can do with that. However, interesting to see, though, as we complete lap 109 here. It's very interesting to see, actually, the fact that the 20 car has now been able to catch the 48, which means that this big pack of guys, what do we got? 7 cars from the 48, the 20, the 9, the 6. Behind him, the 77, as well as 5 and the 27. So, got that 3-car breakaway. Then these 7 cars, which round out the top 10. The 16 is the only guy that is left on track that not currently running in either one of these 2 packs. The 19 of Biker in D and F there in stage number 1. Kenrod, who was our pole sitter, is going to get around the 77 of Dunlap and move into the 8th position. Loderman leads this pack. So now this is going to get interesting here, ladies and gentlemen. As we continue to move towards the finish line, how will this 7-car pack close, what is that, about a 15 to 20 car length gap? And how will they close this gap and get ready for that second pit stop, the second of 3 mandatory pit stops here in stage number 3. Again, the story of the night, it really is stage 2 and here halfway through stage 3 has been this Penske. I mean, these 3 Penske guys, 22 and the 12, they've dominated here tonight. 22 winning both stages, the 12 finishing second in both. Then the 2 car able to flip his fortunes after finishing 8th there in stage number 1. Garv was able to finish 3rd in stage 2. And then behind that, Loderman, he was a guy always on the lookout for. 3rd in stage 1, didn't have as good as fortunes, finishing 6th there in stage 2. However, in that Ally Chevrolet Camaro, He is starting to catch the 2 car, and Garv's starting to feel some pressure. Garv gets into the left rear quarter panel of the 12 of Copenhagen, though. You see some good sportsmanship there as he got out of it, let him get back in line. However, that's going to force the 48 and the 20 to move down low. Chief TP is now going to move in behind the 2 car. So the first slip up of this Penske pack is going to try to separate them, as Loderman thought he had a spot to get in there. We see him try to merge up in front of the 9. Not going to merge yet. Happy now, not going to let him merge in front of him, as, Garv gets into the wall. The man who has ran third here all in stage number 3 gets into the wall and absolutely kills the right side of that discount tire Ford Mustang. He goes from running third about 2.5 seconds out in front of everybody else in front of that second pack to now he's about 1.5 seconds off the pace. And I don't know what that's going to do to that young man. A guy that really had a chance to make something happen here down the stretch. And now without some elite pit strategy, he's going to barely hang on to the top 10. That is an unfortunate break there for Garv. Getting into the fence. He got into the 12 car Copenhagen a couple laps ago, and then as the tires go here, as you ladies and gentlemen know at home, the car started to go there on Garv. That is very unfortunate for him. Jay White just made his second pit stop. I'd have to assume these guys up front are going to look for that pit stop number 2 here very, very shortly. Again, coming to the line this time. This is completing lap number 116. So that means we got 18 to go. 18 to go here in the race. That's about a fuel strategy. You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. One stop down. You're going to make one more stop. And then at that point, that's where you come in and you're going to take half a can at that point, because there's no other reason to come in and pit other than that. Obviously happy here in GFR, the mandatory pit stops, an elite rule in a lot of our opinions to come in and pit. You got those fair amount of pit stops. That's going to put you in a point of it's an equal playing field. Nobody's going to be able to stretch fuel over somebody else. You might see strategy play out. You short pit, long pit, whatever happens there, but not going to see that otherwise. The 22 dips way down to the inside. So it looks like he might come down and pit this time. Well, yes. Does look like Mark is going to come down. He and the 12 car, they pitted together on every single green flag stop here tonight. This is not going to change. As he gets way down on the inside, Chief TP is going to come with them as well. Look out for that 9 car here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He's starting to make some noise here. Again, 1 top 5, 9th in the points. He's a guy that ran towards the back of the lead pack for the majority of the night. But now he's going to come in here, and, I mean, why not? With Garv having his hiccup just a couple laps ago, he's been the third amigo, if you will, the third musketeer, the third whatever nickname you want to use here with the 12 and the 22, the third teammate. He quite literally is the third Penske teammate. But now the 9 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet Camaro is going to come in here and now pit. So we just seen the leaders go back by. 15 to go for them, as they have 3 more laps they could go on pit strategy. We're going to ride along here with Mark and everyone else, so the 22, the 12, and the 9 here, because we know what your fuel cell window is. Do you get right back on track and come right back down and pit? You go out and run a couple laps and come back down and pit? I mean, what is really the strategy here? This is where things are going to get interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody else just came down pit road. You see the 48, the 20, the 6, the 5, the 77. Who else is on pit road here that we missed? Fairlane Cobra's already made 1 start. Garv just came off of pit road. As the 9 not able to stay connected there. We just saw him off in the distance. Not able to stay connected with the 22 and the 12. Everybody else down pit road. 4 tires and 2 cans of Sunoco fuel. 22 and the 12, just as they've done all night long, able to get some pitch strategy here and able to kind of gap out everybody else. They're going to come back around, and then it's the merging war here. You got 2 on 6. Loderman hasn't been able to beat these guys out all night long. That's not going to change. So now how do you manage the gap? You got 2 cars in the draft versus those 6. Also worthy to note here, as again we're getting down to it, 13 to go at the line this time. We saw the 22. He didn't block the 12, but it was an interesting move he made at the end of stage 1. Into stage 2, the 12 leading with 1 to go. We come out of turn 3 and 4. The 22 unsuccessful slide job, but not an unsuccessful side draft, as Mark was able to win the stage that way. What will the 12 do, who has talked about his pace here in Copenhagen this year and felt like he has been so strong, so close now to winning? And he has ran second all night. Is he going to run second again, or is he going to give the 22 car of Mark, who, by the way, has won 2 straight races, looking to make it 3 straight here tonight, and continue his reign on the regular season points? Is he going to do something here and maybe take his running mate out of it? That's going to be the interesting note down the stretch here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the 22 and the 12 run up front here, and then you got the 48 and the 20 at 3rd and 4th there of Loderman and C-Fan. The 9 of Chief TP, he's going to fall behind as now Kenrod moves into the 5th place position. Happy is going to move into the 6th place position here. So when does well, Dunlap, that answers a question for us. He's going to come back down trying to make something happen. We'll follow along with him. It should be a very, very quick stop. Half a can and get going is what it should be here in the 77. And as we'll pause momentarily, and yep, that's exactly what it is. Garv, unfortunately, had his issues, ran 3rd, stage 2, ran it here in his running position. Majority of stage 3 hit the fence, and then that has seemingly ruined his night. Jay White making his 3rd stop. This is that pack we just talked about, and yep, here they are. This, the money stop. The 22 and the 12 have been so good at getting on and off pit road here tonight. And now with 9 laps to go, no speeding issues, none of that. They're on and they are off. Looking behind them, C-Fan, Kenrod, Happy all on pit road. Chief TP, he's off. We'll look at these guys, though, as they come down. In fact, a guy like Happy was able to stretch his fuel. This is pretty much a pass-through penalty. Not taking anything. No tires, no fuel. On and off. Didn't do anything to that car. C-Fan looks much the same as well as the 5 of Kenrod. So back we go here to the 22 and the 12. This is going to be where things get real interesting here, ladies and gentlemen. As Fairlane Cobra is listed as the leader right now. Don't know if he's made that final stop yet or not. Again, where his pit strategy played out, I could not imagine that he has. But he is listed as our leader currently. Everybody trying to stay on the lead lap in front of him. And so really the race that we're looking at here is going to be up front between the 22 and the 12. Then you got C-Fan, who looks like once things shake out, will be in the 3rd place position. Kenrod there in the 5 car in the 5th place position. As the 27 will put Happy a lap down, who would shake out to be in the 5th position, currently in the 6th position. So Fairlane Cobra on a lap by himself currently. As this time around, it will be 5 to go at the line. We're going to continue to follow the 22 and the 12 here. Going to monitor what the 27's doing if and when he does pit. Again, Cobra is listed as your leader right now. So some interesting strategy here for him to move back up. Again, the only thing that we could imagine here is we haven't been following him very closely. Ran at the back half of the field, has ran near the back of the top 10 all night long. The only thing I could imagine, if he has made that final pit stop, he didn't take tires on either his first or second pit stop. And he would have to be running thin. And, well, you see the 5 car Kenrod get up there in the fence. The 27 is going to be able to easily go around him. As this time coming to 4 to go. Again, have not seen Cobra signal to the inside yet. Still looking for him to do so. Guy that's been strong this season. As now he'll finally signal to the inside, and as we expected, did have to make that final stop. So everything will shake out as expected. The 22 and the 12 continuing to battle up front. 4 laps to go in this one. C-Fan, somebody we knew that would come to play here tonight. He said, I don't know if I'm going to have anything for these guys, as the 22 checks up big time going to the corner. That shift the 12 and the 20 back. 3 to go here at the line. The 5-car Ken Rod, he was your pole sitter. He's also going to get in the mix here. Suffered a little bit of front-end damage earlier in the race. Mark McAttack trying to make it 3 in a row here at Kansas. Can he do so? 12 of Copenhagen running second. The 20 of C-Fan there in third. The 5 of Kenrod running the P4. And then Happy, who is off the pace from the lead pack at least, trying to round out the top 5. Kenrod gets into the 20 of C-Fan. That's going to knock C-Fan back a little bit. This might be a 2-car race with 2 to go. Again, this 22 car of Mark. Won at Bristol 2 races ago. Won at Road America last week. Took over the points lead coming into tonight. A guy who has shined brighter than just about anybody here in this young green flag racing season number 2. As looks like something happened here with our broadcast. We're going to take a moment here, still watching the in-car off of Happy, as we'll be able to tell you the finish here. Again, unfortunately, not going to be able to load back into the race. We'll have to call it radio style, as Mark battling it out with Copenhagen, coming off of 4, the 22 still in the lead, and it looks like the 22 is going to get him by just a hair, going all the way down to the inside line, as Mark will sweep all 3 stages here at Kansas. Copenhagen will finish second in all 3 stages here at Kansas. Kenrod third, C-Fan in the 4th place position, and then Happy rounding out the top 5. Fairlane Cobra in 6th as well, and then Chief TP will end up in the 7th place position. Dunlap, Loderman, and Garv round out the top 10. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, not able to watch the last lap, but we will be able to talk to our top 3 competitors here shortly, as they're going to join the party we're currently in.
Yeah, we'll get them an invite now.
And Happy, just telling the guys here as you just joined us here, unfortunately not able to see the final lap. Not sure, we had some technical difficulties there, but Mark able to pick up his 3rd straight win there, Happy.
Yeah, he's tough to beat. He's always up front, so you try to figure out what kind of strategy he's doing and following, but it just didn't work out. Let's see, got one more to find here. All right, that just added, but it was a good race. It's a single track, a single groove track, so it's hard to make any passes. A lot of it was just kind of boring, just riding. But I didn't have a great car, but that's why I'm not in the top 3. So we got one in here. If we get Mark and Kenrod to join.
Looks like we got Mark in here, Copenhagen in here, and looks like we just need our 3rd place finisher of Kenrod in here.
Yeah. Let me go see if he's in the other party or something still.
Well, I guess Copenhagen, if you want to go ahead and there's Ken Rod.
There he is.
We'll talk to Ken Rod first here. Ken Rod, thank you for joining us here in our GFR booth post race. Obviously, started on the pole here tonight. Stage one, you kind of went backwards a little bit, and then you kind of went everywhere. Forwards, backwards, everywhere. Stage two, stage three, your strategy finally pays out. Had a chance to win it there at the end. Tell you how you feel about it in the top three.
I feel good. Didn't mean to get around C-Fan there. I was trying to work with him, but he stayed down just a little too long, me coming off that corner, and I couldn't let out of it at that point. I mean, you kind of got to go for it. I wished I'd had some pushing help. I ran them back down from a little ways away. I feel I had the fastest car on the track there them last 8-10 laps. But it is what it is, man. You got to have help at places like that, and then you ain't got it, you ain't winning.
Well, again, I think it's still the fact you qualified on the pole and able to come back in there and finish in the top three. So a really good night for you points-wise. You and Mark now tied for the most top fives in the series this year. How do you think that momentum carries forward next week going to Charlotte?
Got some work to do.
Hey, you heard it here first. He's got some work to do, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, third place finish, nothing to scoff at here tonight, though. That is TCR Ken Rod. Now let's go to our second place finisher. He was on the trio that turned into the duo of the Team Penske Fords running up front. Copenhagen finishing second. You finished second in all three stages here tonight. I want to go back, though, to that second stage, my friend. That was very, very interesting. Mark pulled the slide job on you. Didn't quite finish it. Great racing coming to the flag there.
Yeah. I don't really like Kansas. It's been fairly a good track for us. I had some good help with Garv in the two, and had Mark. He's helped me more than anyone can know. So I would like to first thank Mark for that, and Garv. But no, good first two stages. I was almost falling asleep, just riding in line. Pit road was hairy, and yeah, just gotta make a move earlier on Mark. That's one thing I regret. I didn't make enough moves like I wanted to early on. I was a little aggressive because I started damn near fourth, so I was trying to make some moves. I didn't want to get stuck, and it bit me one or two times, and just people kept on making mistakes.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. That's our final question, because I don't want to rub salt in the wound by any means, but I do want to ask you, incident, it didn't look like it was a racing incident. I didn't see anything wrong happening, at least what we've seen on the broadcast. You and Garv kind of got into you, knocked you in the fence there with about 20 to go, and then a couple laps later, he got in the fence. Kind of tell us what happened there from your view.
Yeah, so I think whenever I went around him, I think it was third stage, second stage, whatever stage it was, I went around him. I was like, Loderman was behind us, and if I brake to let him get back in front of me, he's going to pass us both. Just how the momentum works there, and then I think he drove it in a little too much. You gotta like let off as soon as you either entry. If you're behind somebody or at least behind two people, you gotta brake at least not brake, but let off at least a little before entry. And I think he just got in there a little too hot. We'll assess that, and I think there's no bad ill will around that, but we'll definitely talk about it.
Oh, good. Well, thank you for that, Copenhagen. Congratulations on your second place finish. I know you told us in your driver interviews.
We got a lot of work to do.
Hey, you told us in your drive interviews this week that that win's coming soon, and then it sure looks like it from that. Well, let's talk to our winner here in Mark. 3 straight wins for you. Obviously, we've seen what Loderman could do. 3 straight wins for him to start the year. And now you're on that 3 straight winning streak, man. I mean, tell us about where you're at here to be at 3 diverse tracks, Bristol short track, road course in Road America, and then an intermediate in Kansas. I mean, what do you guys have going on in that 22 car right now that nobody else knows about?
Definitely got a lot of momentum going on right now. Like you said, three straight wins at three different types of tracks. It's definitely huge. It shows that we're fast and competitive everywhere, which is something obviously every driver always wants to see. So, yeah, just glad that we were able to get the win here at Kansas today. I was kind of a little unsure about how the race was going to go overall. People were going to be patient, or people were just going to kind of ride in line there. And early on, I was started I think third, and then we kind of got mid pack a little bit, got freight trained. But as soon as I had a run there in the middle of the first stage, I took it and was able to get to the lead. And track position's definitely one necessity at Kansas, with it obviously being very hard to pass. But glad to get the win here today. Great points day, and look to hopefully extend that at Charlotte next week.
Yeah, now back-to-back races after Loderman led the points for the majority of the year. Now you lead the points. Good second straight race you'll go into leading the points. Reason you won, reason you now lead the points. You, Copenhagen, and Garv for the majority of Stage 2, and then you and Copenhagen there for the back half of Stage 3. Got on that strategy. You guys put it together away from the 6, 7, even 8-car bunches out back. Was that a thought process you guys had going into the race, or is that something that just kind of happened organically there that led to the win?
It was pretty much organic, kind of the way everything shaped out. With us three being in the lead, obviously, those guys behind us could kind of save a little bit more on their fuel and their tires. So they were able to go a lot longer than us because we were going as hard as we could up front, so we were burning off more fuel and everything. So it kind of happened organically. I think what kind of saved us, honestly, I think Loader missed the pits on his last stop, and he had to go around an extra lap. So it kind of broke up that pack a little bit behind us. But, yeah, like I said, I think it was more of an organic thing with us leading and burning off more fuel, so we had to pit a little bit earlier than they did.
Well, that's your race winner tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark McAtack, winner of 3 straight Bristol Road America and now Kansas. He is now and has been first in the overall and rookie points. Happy, you're the owner of this thing. What do you got to close out the night for us?
Good race, Mark. Good race, Cope. Congrats on the win there. Man, these guys have got strategy coming in here, man. These guys they're from a different league. Mark is the owner of that league. They got their ducks in a row when they get over here. So they're just proving more and more that we still got more work than we thought we had to do. Hopefully we'll get there. We get a better season put together. For me personally, just ain't had the rhythm. It just, I don't know, been getting black flags. I don't know, it's one of them things. But I'm glad where the season's at, where the group is at. We've got 2 full lobbies for this cup and it's Fendi, so I'm happy with the people we got, so I don't think you can say much more than that.
Well, Happy, I know you told me at the end of season 1, you said I'd rather have a group full of really good racers and I run mid-pack every week than me get out here and dominate and the league not grow to what it's been. So I know you got to be pleased with what you've had despite maybe not running where you want to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm disappointed in myself, not the league.
Well, I definitely I think the GFR is at a really good place right now, and obviously this year is continue to prove that, Happy. And any more final thoughts?
We're gonna go to next week, go to Charlotte. And, I'm a little better at Charlotte. Maybe I can get back in the rhythm there. Just looking forward to getting back on the track with these guys again. I have fun every week.
Well, that'll close out the broadcast here tonight. Again, Kansas. Mark is going or has won his 3rd straight race. And as Happy just said, next week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Central, right back here for the 600 at Charlotte. That'll be 4 stages of GFR racing next Wednesday. Until again, this has been the Green Flag Racing League here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel.